seen videos on internet and say, oh, Chinese are bad drivers. Hey, don't drive in China. You get stuck in the traffic. There are a lot of cars in China. Hey, blah, 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 blah. What is your message to them?
When you're coming to China, honestly come with an open-minded. Yeah, just be open-minded because and experience things as they are. I've been driving in China for 8 years now, but I never had an accident. One of the weirdest questions, like you said, one person asked me, I know you don't have cars in Africa. Where did you get the car? where did you learn how to drive the car?
Like,
it's such
someone
question.
walk up to you and said that to you? Like, we
yeah,
don't have cars in Africa?
Yeah, because they don't know. They say, do you have cars? Do you drive in Africa? Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Simply Rhoda. If it's your first time on this channel, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And today is the day that I'm finally going to speak about my experience driving in China. I have King Kwesi with me here. He's so curious about my experiences. He has his own experiences. So yeah, stay and turn on those notification bells so that you won't miss the next day or the future videos. And yeah, I'm driving right now. So yeah.
She's going to talk about her experience as a driver in China, why she chose an EV car, how it's like driving in China, her interaction with the police when they stop her on the way, how Chinese people, react when they see her driving this car. Because let me tell you, she's driving one of the expensive EV cars in China now, and I don't know the reaction that she gets from Chinese people. So we are going to talk about a lot about some of these things in this conversation. So stay tuned, yeah.
I find this restaurant really
So Rhoda, for the purpose of those who didn't watch our video, but I'll leave the link to that video up here. Just click to watch. How long have you been in China in total?
I think it's a little over 13 years now.
13 years in China.
Yes.
And for these 13 years, how many of these years have you been driving in China?
I have been driving for 8 years.
8 years in China.
Yes.
How was it like, getting a driver's license as a foreigner? Because most people even think like it's impossible for a foreigner to drive in China. How were you able to get a driver's license? I have a driver's license in China, but I don't want to talk about my experience. That's why I want you to have this conversation, Okay. How did you get a driver's license in China?
Actually, I used to have that mindset as well. Like, it's hard looking at the Chinese language and stuff. So I used to think it was hard. Before one day I met a former student of mine, and he told me that it's actually easier. So getting a license in China, especially if you have been driving in your country or if you have a license from your country, it's much easier than learning from scratch here, because what you need is what I needed, like for my case, what I needed was just to have my driver's license translated into Chinese, and not just translated by an ordinary person, but I had to go to their notarization, like the place, the government approved the place to have my license translated. And after that I went on to do the eye test, also in the government offices where they do the driving licensing and stuff. And that was it. And I took a test in English. That is multiple choice questions on the computer.
100 questions, right?
Yes, and I was told that I needed to pass at least 90 and above.
Within 1 hour.
Yes. So the unfortunate thing for me during that time was they didn't have any booklet. Like, in Zimbabwe we are right-handed drivers, but in China it's left-hand, right? So I didn't have any driving booklet to study like their road regulations here in China. I didn't have, because they didn't have the English booklets. So I was just basing on guessing, and actually my first time was just to experience, like to see how the questions were like. And I was surprised, I actually scored 96. Yes.
You passed, right?
But I was guessing.
Oh.
Yes. I was just guessing. I didn't know what to expect. I was just going there, just trying to see how the questions are like. And I wasn't expecting to pass, and I did score 96, and immediately I got my license. So that was how easy it was.
Is it expensive to get a license in China? Because
no.
If I could remember, I paid less than 200 kwai for my license.
I remember I paid for this process, I paid 10 yuan.
Yeah.
10 yuan for, actually, let's say 20, because 10 yuan was for the license insurance, and another 10 yuan was for the photos, because they don't accept you to bring your own photos, so the photos has to be taken there. So all in all, I think I paid 20 kwai.
So guys, to get an actual license is very cheap in China. To get a license for the government, the driving school
learn
how to drive. It's very expensive to go to a driving school. But if you know how to drive already and you're coming to China, all you have to do is to come with your driver's license from your country, do a translation through the government board, like the authorized translators or whatever they call them, and the notarized people. And you're good. Okay, so what has been the experience for you driving in China?
Like, I can say driving in China is pretty different from my country. First, I want to talk about the way Chinese people drive. I feel like even when you take lessons here in China, you won't actually learn how to deal with the actual traffic on the road because they don't get to have that experience driving and learning with the real drivers on the road. So when they do it, I think there are a lot of things they don't know. So when you are driving in China, you really have to be cautious about who is in front of you, besides you, behind you, because some unfortunate things may actually happen. So my experience is, I can pretty say it has been a journey. It has been your journey.
Ever had an accident?
No.
Have you ever had an accident driving?
No.
So,
Fortunately.
so you're gonna rate yourself as a good driver in China?
I can pretty much say
On a scale of 10. On a scale of 10.
I think I'm an 8.
Okay, I
Yes.
know she's a good driver, but she speeds a lot. That's one thing I don't like. She drives so fast.
Anyway, my car is so fast sometimes I can't control it.
and Rhoda, okay, so what has been your engagement with the police? Because you know in other jurisdictions, like in other places around the world, when black people are pulled over by police, sometimes we hear a lot of things that happen, like some of them even get killed, you know? I just want to be straightforward with this conversation.
Yeah, I know.
What has been your experience with the police? Have you ever been stopped by police in China? And what has been the experience?
Yes, actually, it happened a couple of times. I pretty much remember it was not just me being pulled out of the traffic, me alone. No, the first time it was like everybody was being stopped because the place is a well-known place whereby there's a hotel and most people go there for functions, and they tend to drink. You know, in China you are not allowed to drink and drive. Yeah, so they just do these random checks. So they can just stop everybody and ask you to breathe in to check for that. So that was the first time, and they didn't say nothing. Actually, for that, I even if I had drank, they wouldn't have known, because when they realized that I'm a foreigner, they just say go.
Oh.
Yeah, for me. And my second experience was I was turning on the wrong place. Actually, they had a stipulated time, like between this time and this time, you are not allowed to turn. But I didn't know. So I was turning, and the police stopped me and said, give me your license. And also he realized I was a foreigner, and he also said, next time don't do that. So I said, okay, thank you.
So literally you've been enjoying the foreigners' privileges in
yes,
China.
I can say as a foreigner, you can, and also as a woman, I don't know the experience for men drivers, but as a woman, it seems like the police in China are more lenient with women.
Okay.
They are more lenient with women in general. Besides you're breaking the law or what, they are kind of soft on women. So for me, my two cases, they've just let me pass. They just say, okay, go, don't do that again. This time and this time you should not pass here. So it's like,
I mean, you are currently driving one of the best EV cars on the market right now. As soon as you get to know it's a black person, you know, what has been the interaction, the reaction from some of the Chinese people, the average Chinese person, when they see you driving this car? Do they ask you some weird questions? Like, because when I was driving here, someone asked me, did I bring the car from Africa? Yeah, I was asked by a Chinese person, did you bring this car from your country?
From your country. Like, yeah, for me, actually, this is a funny question, actually. And it's one of those moments that I, like, most of the time I experience either stares, questions, and sometimes people being shocked. You know, I don't say I enjoy it, but it happens a lot. And one of the weirdest questions, like you said, one person asked me, I know you don't have cars in Africa, where did you get the car? where did you learn how to drive the car? You know,
like,
it's such
someone
question.
walk up to you and said that to you, like, we don't have cars in Africa.
Yeah, because they don't know. They say, do you have cars? Do you drive in Africa?
No, Africa, we travel on donkeys.
Yes, like that. So it's one of those questions you get asked, and sometimes you just laugh, and you just have to be open-minded, because the person, they truthfully want to know. You can see, like, we always complain about what the media portrays and stuff. There are some people who still believe that Africa is still, you know, it
is what it is.
Yes, so they genuinely, I could see that the person was asking genuinely. Yes, so I said, yeah, I was just trying to, you know, go with the flow. Like, there's a video I did last time, somebody was asking about animals in Africa, and I say, yeah, we actually have lions and tigers at home, you know, kind of. So you can see that it's genuine questions. So yeah, I kind of go with the flow, but I will also try to teach them whenever I get, you know, the minority, those who are brave enough to ask. Yes, I will also try to educate if I can. But yes, I've had those questions coming, and sometimes it's the stairs. Sometimes the people will actually run in front to check the number plate, to see is it actually a Chinese
Chinese-
number plate.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
So it's like they become really like they're so curious. Like, how is that so? You're a foreigner, you're a woman. On top of that, you're a black woman, and you are driving this car in China. So yes, I get those questions, I get those stares. Some will even ask me, "What do you do?" And how much is the car? Because they know that immediately they see the car, they will try to search for it, and they know the price. So they are curious. What do I do? How do I get to drive such a car here in China? So yeah, I get some weird.
You told me you bought this car cash, right?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you use your bank privileges as someone married to a Chinese to get a car loan like it's been done in other countries?
Actually, that's one thing that I feel like China should improve on. You know, I don't have a green card in China, and although I'm married here, I still don't have those privileges like getting bank loans and stuff like that. So I needed this car to be in my name. My husband was buying this car for me, but I needed the car to be in my name. And we did apply for a bank loan because my previous car, unfortunately, I bought it through a loan. Right, that was my first car. But for this one, they didn't approve the loan. I think there have been some previous issues with foreigners maybe leaving without paying up the loans. So the bank system totally changed. As a foreigner, if you want something in terms of like property or an asset, they want you to pay it cash. Yes, for their own safety, like to protect themselves, which I do understand. Yeah, at this moment I can't. If I wanted a loan, this car would have been in my husband's name because he's Chinese. He has the privilege to get an amount from the banks. But for me, I can't,
because
though I'm married here.
Because you wanted the car to be in your name.
In my name, yes.
The bank couldn't approve.
Right.
Though your husband got all the
Chinese
documents and order to support you.
Right.
Because
whose name was going to be on the car?
Your name.
My name.
You are not Chinese.
Yes.
So that was why you couldn't get the loan from the bank, right?
Exactly.
Wow. If I really want to be real, I want China maybe in the next 10 years to be more open to some of these things for foreigners, especially maybe foreigners that are married to Chinese and maybe have a family here, because you have a kid here. You're going to be in China no matter how you look at it. China is still going to be part of your journey. So I feel like some of these things should be looked at going forward, maybe the next 10, 20 years. Maybe China will get to that place. Who knows? Wow. I mean, so driving here and driving an EV car, why did you choose to switch to an EV car?
Like I say, you know, nowadays, I think driving an EV car is cheaper. Is actually cheaper, way cheaper.
You mean it's cheaper to drive an EV car now?
Yes, it's cheaper as compared to gasoline because let me tell you something. For my brand, I'm not speaking of other brands. For my brand, we have this privilege to do battery swapping. So this battery swapping, we have a chance to do it like 6 times a month, of which I can't use it all. And these battery swapping are totally free. We don't need to pay anything. So that literally means I am driving my car for free for life. But if I exceed the 6 times that we are given per month, then I can start paying. Even if we are paying to have a fully charged battery, probably it may cost you, it depends with the time again that you go to charge or you go to swap. Sometimes the fully charged battery can cost a little over 100 yuan. That is maybe not more than $50, not more than $30 actually. Right, so it depends. But when I'm swapping, the battery swapping is totally free for us as long as I am within the 6 times that I am allocated a month. So for me, since I bought this car, it's almost 2 years. I can say I've been driving this car for free, unless if I travel to a place that has no swapping and I need to charge. Then I can pay. But I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to just swap for free. So I think choosing this car for me, it was a way of saving for me. I don't need to buy gasoline. I don't need to make any budget for like gasoline or whatever. It's totally free. So except for insurance, of course. Once a year I pay insurance, that's it.
Oh, okay. So is it convenient to drive an EV car in China? I mean, in terms of finding charging spots and swapping station?
Right, right. At the beginning, that was my worry when I first drove this car, or when I was thinking of buying this car. I was wondering what happens if I am not in Weihai, or what happens if I'm in another place, or if I run out of power. Actually, also, I'm speaking for my brand because I'm more knowledgeable about my brand than others. As you have noticed, in China there are so many EV cars right now.
Yeah.
Yes, but I have more knowledge about my car. So when it comes to my car, you find all these EV cars, they use the same charging machines.
Okay.
Which means I don't have to only find for this brand. I can charge anywhere. Yes. Nowadays, I've seen a massive number of increase on charging stations, charging spots. Unlike, we also have a limited, like, swapping stations that is specifically for this car. But for charging spots, they are everywhere. So it's easier and it's convenient. It's convenient.
It's convenient, right?
Yeah, it's convenient now. You don't have to line up. You don't have to wait if you are going to charge. If you are swapping, it's probably the fastest. That's why we choose that, because it's less than 10 minutes. I'll be from 0 to 100 in less than 10 minutes. For charging, they also have fast chargers that takes lesser time. So unlike before, I think they're improving every day. They're improving in terms of energy, because you find that in China they are actually promoting EV cars.
Right?
Yes, so you find that the technology is being improved every day. So I think driving it for me is very convenient. I never had any difficulties. We also have the mobile charging stations in case I am at a place where there are no charging stations or what. I can call for help and they'll come and recharge me. So, which put me in a very safe place. Or safe.
It's the future now. Yeah, I mean, it's the future now. I mean, driving an EV is a way of saving the environment, and also, you know, promoting green energy.
Right.
So for me, I support EV.
Right.
I support EV, and I know, like, I've seen a lot of different brands of EV, and they look so amazing. I did a video about it.
They're improving.
They're improving every day.
Right.
And I know, like, other people, I've seen videos of people also, like, coming out China, like, China EVs are not good quality or whatever, but I mean, they need to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
They need to start from somewhere, and I
actually,
think China,
like I said, they're improving.
China is actually doing great when it comes to EV.
Mm-hmm. You're right. For me, I don't know, because since I've been using this car, now, like I say, it's almost, you see, I've been driving this car for 720 days. Right. For 720.
Oh, so you've been driving this car for 720 days?
Yes, that I've gone for 18,892 kilometers with this, right?
I mean, meaning you're not driving this car.
Even though, now, like we look at that, I have never had any single problem with this. That I can say, maybe the EV cars are not good. You know what? I've never had any single problem with that. For the past 720 days, I've never had any single problem. So I think, although people have their own perceptions about Chinese EV cars, maybe they will want to compare with Teslas and stuff, but I think Chinese technology is way, way higher. Like, if you look at the batteries and stuff like that, the live batteries, even Teslas is getting that from China. So, so I think they are leading right now. The Chinese EV manufacturers are leading right now because they are improving their technology all the time. Amazing. I think you did a video like that before,
yeah,
right?
you can just click to watch it up here. Guys, let me show you this. Look at the sunset.
Sunset.
Oh,
it's
my goodness, beautiful. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what is your message to people coming to China who want to drive here, but they've seen videos on internet and say, oh, Chinese are bad drivers. Hey, don't drive in China. You get stuck in the traffic. There are a lot of cars in China. Hey, blah, 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 blah. What is your message to them?
The thing is, like, I'm sure I'm repeating the words that have been said several times by other people on YouTube, or you may have had them before. Like, when you are coming to China, honestly come with an open-minded. Yeah, just be open-minded, because if you have so many expectations, that's when you have stress, and that's when you may not like it and be disappointed.
That's right.
But to be honest, when you come here, some of the things that you have heard or the rents you have had, they depend on each and like one's experiences. Come with your own, like, be open-minded and experience things as they are. I've been driving in China for 8 years now, but I never had an accident. Of course, there are slow drivers, but you will soon get used to that. and you'll find your way to navigate through that. So just be open-minded and enjoy, and don't be afraid to drive in China. Actually, it's more convenient and easier, and even buying cars, there are more options now in China. And don't be afraid of what you hear. Just come here, drive.
Don't be afraid of what you hear on the internet. Don't be afraid from what you see on the internet. Just come drive. Hey, you know one thing about China, you know, there are also cars, like EV cars somewhere that you can scan, guys. You can scan and drive to any point. There's so many means of transport in China. So when you're coming, guys, the options are just many. They are countless. Just make your own choice. So, Rhoda, thank you so much for coming again to share this experience.
You're welcome.
If you are watching this video, please go to your channel, subscribe, and support it.
Sure, you know, I'm waiting for you there.
we have been doing YouTube for 5 years now. Yeah, I know her from the days of Rhoda Jan. So please, let's support her. Go to your channel right now, subscribe, share her videos. I mean, she's doing amazing content from China. Share her everyday experiences just like I do here. Let's support ourselves and let's grow. Peace
Thank you
out.
so much, King Kwesi, for inviting me to your channel. Bye.
Bye.